Jonas Raeber, born in 1968 in Lucerne, you founded in the 1901 the Swamp Animation Studios, the Switzerland winnest animation motion pictures. You product and direct a lot of short movie over the years. Active member of the board of Swiss Animated Film Group from 1990 to 2011, is correct? And its president till 2020. You are a filmmaker with a very strong political component.
Grüezi. Wissen Sie, das Ausland gefällt mir also sehr. Ja, wir gehen etwa im Sommer mit dem Karawan Richtung Süden. He? Die haben ja immer Sonne dort unten, die Glückspilze. Gut, es ist alles ein bisschen dreckig, aber man muss sich ja auch wieder auf die Schweiz freuen können, oder? Wir kommen hier zurück und man freut sich, wieder daheim zu sein. Und was sieht man? Überall Ausländer. Überall! Lümmeln auf den Strassen umeinander, verstopfen unsere Beizen, pfeifen unseren Frauen nachher, machen den ganzen Tag nichts und haben gleich Geld, als köpft und tätscht, fahren dicke Karren, haben goldige Uhren an und teure Lederjacken. Und zahlen tun das alles mit Geld, das sie mit Drogen verdienen. Ja, die dealen doch alle, die Sauhunde vergiften uns alle noch. Und die Polizisten, die müssen nach dem Rechten schauen, kommen dabei noch ums Leben. Himmeltraurige Geschichte ist es mit diesen Huren Ausländern. Früher, da hat man weniger fiese Patente gemacht, früher, Abis lachen und zurück auf Afrika, wo sie hergekommen sind. Und nachher dann nicht mehr rein, nicht mehr wieder hierher zurückkommen mit Kind und Familie und Sack und Pack, nichts. Denkt hier noch an Arbeiten, noch unsere Arbeitsplätze wegnehmen und in unseren Wohnungen leben, Denkt das Zehnte hoch, wie in einem Basar, Saudreck anrichten, Nichts. Raus mit diesen Siechen. Soll ich sich doch über den Haufen schießen, damit wir das Haus sind? Verbrechen alle mit Grüezi. Wissen Sie...
Those were very old films. It's fun to see them every now and then. Grüezi, of course, was a very a film that was shown a lot because it's only 2 minutes. People loved, showing it on TV. It's short and it's political. And Pot is very old because then at the time, that's correct. I was doing my military service in Lugano. And I got a lot of inspiration from there. And after a while, I took my little light box along with me, and I started to draw. And I finished the film. You saw that there were everyone on the end titles is called Schweizer, because I had lots of friends from my teachers training college that helped me coloring the film. And they were all threatened by the master, the head of the school, who said they should not help me because he was very high ranking in the Swiss army.
In few minutes, you are very sharp on your ideas. Very
well. This technique is very demanding. It takes a lot of time to do a film like this, and so it's of course it has to be short because it just makes sense not to spend years of your life on a film like this because it can be said in 2 minutes. And the nice thing is that this film has been shown over and over, and it's still valid. I mean, it was made in Grüezi was made in 1995, I think. So it's very old, and it's very actual. It's very close to our everyday life, and I feel pity for those filmmakers who make 90-minute films, because over the course of making your film, you see your own film 100,000 times. And with a 2-minute film, it's easy because it's short. But if I do a long film, I was never tempted by to do a long film. I love short films. I love short films in also in fiction and documentary. I love the short format because it gives you a glimpse of something, and it takes you in, and it brings you out, and then you have a new world. And that's something I like. So I change my styles from every film looks different. This is important because the technique changes over the years. These films were made colored pencils on paper, and of course nowadays I work in digital. I draw on my Wacom Cintiq, and there's no paper involved anymore, and it's changed a lot. The audience, I think, the audience is potentially worldwide with YouTube and Vimeo and everything, and it's harder to receive attention from an audience, because there's so much filmmaking and so much political filmmaking that it's much harder nowadays to find your audience, I think. But I profit a lot from my films profit if you show a political film among beautiful films. There's always a part of the audience that likes it a lot, because they think animation is made for children. They go to see an animation program, and then everything is colorful, and all of a sudden there is a political film, and they go like, wow, that's something for us. And I profit from this. Of course, if everyone would do political films, it would be very, very boring.
And as president of Swiss Animator Film Group, you worked in this way. You worked a lot to try to change something about the response of the audience, also the response of the state, so to speak. So for the money, for the financing, to give the proper right spot to animation in Switzerland.
That of course is a completely different side of it. The audience is huge, and is very positive, and the government or the funds are small. And are very reluctant, to animation, because animation for a long time was considered for children, and then there was a reaction to that. So there were lots of artists that did films that were not for children at all, and that of course provoked some reactions from people who said animation is bad, it's bad for children, and it's bad in general, and so after a while. We just have to realize that animation is part of our culture, and I mean animation was almost invented in Switzerland, so 100 years ago. So it's something from us, and it's not worse or not better than any other part of the cultural heritage. So
why there is such a prejudice about animation?
Oh, it's just over this. I don't know. For instance, I started in comic books. When I was drawing, I wanted to become a comic book artist, and so I did all these drawings and stories and stuff, and this is we didn't the visual part of culture is not really Swiss. It's something that people have problems with that, with comics and with cartoons and with animation, because they didn't grow up with it. Our generation, well, my generation didn't grow up. They did grow up a little bit. Your generation grew up with films and animation and games and stuff. So it broadens our view of the world. So it's just a question of time before we embrace all cultural expression, which and among which animation is one. So when I was in the US in 2010 for half a year, and when I got home, I met all my friends again from the animation world in Switzerland, and it's a big animation family around the globe. The whole world, we went to festivals and stuff. So I also always felt attached to that community. And when I came back, I was told that the GSFA, the Swiss Animation Film Group, would be down, because the general secretary she quit, and the board stepped down and said, we have enough, we don't want to do it, let's stop the GSFA. And I said, well, no, let's not stop it, because it's very important to have a voice on the political level. And I decided to go back to the board, because I've been on the board for some years, in the past, and I said, I want to become president. I'm not going to be just one board member. I want to be president, and I want you, and you to come with me and work on that board to bring this whole association to a next level. And then we worked. It was nice. It worked very good. We had some changes in the secretary. We changed from Lausanne to Zurich. We changed the office. So we had funds from the government because they acknowledged that we did a good job, apparently. And the association grew and grew. But still, on the political level, it's always a big fight, to fight for money and to make people aware that animation is a part of it and deserves a certain percentage of the money.
That was the year 2011.
Around
when
that,
you
yes.
bring the presidency of, and you bring a video, a short movie about the issue of the money in Central Swiss. Is correct now?
Yes, it was exactly. Then I was also active in the central Switzerland, in Luzern, where I live, and this is a very desperate part of Switzerland because there was very little money for filmmaking, and we created this visual thing. It was available here in printed form, and I think we can have a look at the animated version of this.
Okay, we can see the movie, and then we can talk about it.
We can have a look at this. This is also how to fight with animation for filmmaking and for the funds.
Was bisher geschah. Die Schweiz im Jahr 2015. Alle Regionen haben ihre Filmförderungen gebündelt. Millionen stehen zur Verfügung. Und Millionen fließen von Bundesbern in die Regionen. Alle machen Filme. Alle profitieren. Wirklich alle? Nein. Eine Region im Herzen der Schweiz, die Zentralschweiz, liegt abseits der Geldströme von Bund und SRG, weil sich die Regierungen der Zentralschweizer Kantone erfolgreich gegen eine gemeinsame Filmförderung wehren. Bisher. Rückblick. Während die Zürcher 2004 ihre Filmstiftung gründen, unterstützen die Kantone Nidwalden, Schwyz, Zug, Obwalden, Uri und Luzern ihre Filmschaffenden weiterhin über die Innerschweizer Filmfachgruppe. Die hat aber bloß beratende Funktion. In der Urschweiz segnen noch die Regierungen ab, was gefördert werden soll. 2005 sind das ca. 18 Projekte mit total vielleicht 400.000 Franken. Die Zürcher Filmstiftung fördert derweil 38 Projekte mit 4,9 Millionen. Weil damit weitere Millionen aus Bundesbern und SRG in diese Projekte fließen und wegen der Regel, dass pro Franken 1,5 Franken in der Region ausgegeben werden müssen, fließen in der Folge fast 7,5 Millionen wieder nach Zürich zurück. Das macht Eindruck im Kanton Bern. Der konzentriert 2006 alle seine Förderungen in einer Stelle. Die knappe halbe Million, mit der sie startet, hat sich 2009 bereits verdreifacht, 1,5 Millionen. Und in etwa dieselbe Summe aus der Bundesfilmförderung. Bern produziert. Basel bildet eine Steuergruppe. Man will jetzt auch eine Filmstiftung. Jene in Zürich ist 2009 schon bei 8 Millionen Franken für 71 Projekte. In der Zentralschweiz gründen Filmschaffende den Verein Film Zentralschweiz. Man hat genug davon, dass man neu zwar den Schweizer Filmpreis in Luzern verleihen helfen darf, für zusätzliche Mittel zur Filmproduktion aber kein Geld vorhanden ist. Wie aus 2 Millionen Franken 10 Millionen werden, lautet das griffige Papier, das Film Zentralschweiz 2010 vorstellt. Es wird erst 2011 Folgen haben, noch mehr Papier. Derweil erhöht der Berner Regierungsrat die Filmfördermittel auf 3,1 Millionen. In Zürich liegt die Gesamtfördersumme mittlerweile bei 10 Millionen. 10 Millionen. Das sind auch die Mittel, mit der die Fondation Romande pour le Cinéma, kurz Cinéforum, den Betrieb aufnimmt. Wir schreiben das Jahr 2011. In der Zentralschweiz beschließt die Bildungsdirektorenkonferenz, eine Studie zur Filmförderung in Auftrag zu geben. Im Frühjahr 2012 erscheint sie. Ernüchternd ihre Bestandesaufnahme der Zentralschweizer Filmförderung. Und doch orten die Autoren der Studie Potenzial im Zusammenschluss der Mittel aller 6 Zentralschweizer Kantone. Deren Kulturbeauftragte sprechen sich einstimmig für die empfohlene Variante eines Fonds aus, ähnlich jenem in der Romandie. Werden ihre Chefs diesem Vorschlag zustimmen? Ist eine starke Filmregion Zentralschweiz in Griffnähe? Es wird weitere 1,5 Jahre dauern, bis die zuständigen Regierungsräte entscheiden. Das Jahr 2012 endet mit der Meldung aus Bern, dass in den letzten 6 Jahren dank der Filmförderung 18 Millionen Franken in die eigene Wirtschaft zurückgeflossen sind. 18 Millionen. Mitte September 2013 fällt die Bildungsdirektorenkonferenz der Zentralschweizer Kantone ihren Entscheid. Anstelle des erhofften Fonds stellt sie Musterrichtlinien für die kantonalen Filmförderungen in Aussicht, ein überarbeitetes Reglement und eine Empfehlung an die Kantone, ihre Fördermittel im Rahmen der finanziellen Möglichkeiten zu erhöhen. Der Verein Film Zentralschweiz protestiert vergebens. Die Quittung des Bundesamts für Kultur lässt nicht lange auf sich warten. Von 188 Filmprojekten, die im Jahr 2013 eine Absichtserklärung des Bundes zur finanziellen Unterstützung erhielten, stammten 4 aus der Zentralschweiz. 2%. 2014 beträgt die gesamte Filmförderung aller 6 Zentralschweizer Kantone 541.000 Franken. Beide Basel investieren gleichzeitig schon 500.000 und werden diese Summe ab 2016 auf 2,7 Millionen erhöhen. In Bern sind es 2014 bereits 3,1 Millionen, in der Romandie 9,5 und in Zürich 10,7 Millionen Schweizer Franken, die, und das ist das Schöne an Förderungen, 1,5- bis 2-fach wieder zurück in die jeweiligen Wirtschaftsregionen fließen. Das sind Arbeitsplätze, das sind Steuereinnahmen, das ist ein Perpetuum mobile.
I apologize for the subtitles in Italian. I did them myself because I figured it was interesting.
They were good.
Okay, for you to understand that this is a Swiss phenomenon. You know, and the Italian part of Switzerland probably has the same problems like we in the central part of Switzerland. Although you just one canton and we are 6 cantons, and it's a big struggle, you know. And I love using animation to explain in a short time the problems and to make it possible for people to see it, and also nowadays with modern media to copy and to send around and make people see it, you know. So this was just it was a fun thing to do this also in print. We had a hard time finding a print shop that would print such a large flyer, because this is a very exceptional thing. But still, I think we can put it here. It's nice decoration, so a little color here. It shows. This, of course, was not just for animation. The money is just for film production in general. So it shows how by helping everyone in the film industry, we also help the animation industry. A part of this problem that we're having with not receiving enough money from others, from those that have the money, is that cultural people that are artists, like me, I consider myself an artist, although I don't do too much artistic stuff. I do more blasphemic stuff, or I do political and satirical stuff. So, but artists tend to consider their own contribution as low as possible. Something cheap they do anyway. So if they say, I do the film anyway. So if please give me money. But if they don't receive money, they do the film anyway. Now people who have the money, and they have just the money, they have no creativity. They need to buy creativity from us. They say, well, you asked for money. We didn't give you money. You did the film anyway. Good job. Very good. We still have our money. That's great. but we still have your film. So this is silly. I think we should stop doing low budget productions. You have to, if you calculate everything, and in Switzerland especially, you never get a low budget. Everything is so expensive. And you have to calculate everything, even your friends or your parents that cook for you, or you eat at home and everything. Calculate it as if tomorrow you have to buy it on the free market. So then you know how much worth it is. If your parents say, we will invite all of your friends, all of your film crew for dinner and for lunch, then it's worth something. If people come and work for you for free for your project, it's worth something. You have to list it, and then you ask for some money, and then you find a financial plan and a way to achieve the high budget, or I call it the good budget. The contrary of a low budget is a good budget.
What's your advice to the new generation, the new guys that want to start this journey inside the animation? How has to be their approach?
Well, the most important thing, I think, is to talk to people and to connect with others. And also to connect with people who have been in the business for 100 years. Because young people, I was young at the time, and I didn't know anyone. And it was harder back then to get to know people, because I didn't go to a school. Because people in a school, they have a network already. This is very important. So make sure you have a network, and then you go out and you make sure you know who has been in that business for some time. Young people tend to think, I'm new here. Something has to be done, and they don't know there has been done. Many things have been done, and maybe there also have been done many things have not been done because of a reason, because it doesn't make sense. So if you connect with people, you learn that your work values something. It's a value, and then you can, if you agree with others, you can have a strong position in negotiations also, when you can say, hey, we don't give this away for cheap. I'm asked every now and then, even in my age, 53, I'm still asked from official clients to deliver parts of my work for free in order to get the job. They ask me, we do a pitch. We asked 10 illustrators, send us your stuff, we need an illustration for this and that. And I say, okay, what's the budget? They say, oh, we don't have money. I said, that's not how you buy your pants. That's not how you buy your car. You don't go into a car sale and say, I have no car, but I have no money, but I like that car. You don't get the car. So you have to group yourself, and that's what maybe we can show a little excerpt from this a little film I did for the negotiations that we had to do with the television. When I was president of SIFA Switzerland, GSFA, I produced a little film just to take the fear away from the other film producers who are in documentary and fiction, and from the TV representatives. Maybe we can have a look at this.
Yeah, of course.
Le pacte de l'audiovisuel et l'animation. Quoi de neuf? Le pacte de l'audiovisuel entre la SSR et la branche cinématographique indépendante suisse. Ce sont actuellement 27,5 millions de francs suisses investis dans des coproductions chaque année. 4 millions sont réservés pour des primes succès passage antenne. 14 millions sont prévus pour des coproductions télé, un demi-million pour le multimédia et 9 millions pour le cinéma. Là-dedans sont prévus 800 000 francs pour des films d'animation, 9%. Avec ceci ont été faits Ma vie de courgette, Chris the Suisse et beaucoup de courts-métrages qui ont remporté des tas de prix eux aussi, avec 9%. Pour des coproductions animation télé, le pacte de l'audiovisuel actuel prévoit 0 francs. Autour du monde, les produits animation pour la télé forment un marché hyper créatif et commercial, trop intéressant pour ne pas y investir. Avec 9%, là aussi, l'animation suisse pourra contribuer non seulement au monde de l'animation internationale, mais aussi au programme de la SSR. Pas tout de suite, ne faut pas craindre des tas de séries qui chopent les places dans les programmes à la fiction et au documentaire. L'animation, ça prend du temps. Déjà, Le développement d'une série animée nécessite beaucoup plus que d'une série de fiction. Il faut établir des mondes entiers, des caractères, des couleurs, des bruits, des sons, la lumière, tout. Tout ça prend du temps. Et de l'argent, évidemment. Nous sommes prêts à investir, nous, des millions d'idées, d'heures, d'années d'expérience. Et de l'argent, évidemment. Avec 9% des fonds prévus à la SSR pour les coproductions télé, tout de neuf. 9%. Le film d'animation suisse vous remercie.
So we're still waiting. We didn't get 9%, but I'm expecting that over the course of those years, now I'm not president anymore, but the Pacte Audiovisuel is still running, that we should get at least 9%, if not more, also for television co-production. So it's by asking politely and by insisting, because this is all that I'm saying here is that it's nothing revolutionary. It's just something decent. And the other side, they know it's decent, and they know they owe this to us. So by asking them and by reminding them, saying, have we achieved, are we there yet? Say, no. So, okay. Will we be there? Yes, of course.
Now, what's the future of animation in Switzerland? You are so deep inside this world. So how's going to be the next 2, 3, 5 years?
Well, I know there's markets, and animation can be something very at the time very artistic and very commercial. So I'm not really afraid of the commercial side. I think the commercial side will make its way. Switzerland has a specific situation because we're very expensive. Labor is very expensive here, so we cannot really cope with other countries that have cheap labor, that do cheap stuff. And I think Switzerland shouldn't try to copy an animation industry from elsewhere, because we cannot do cheap shit. Cheap shit is done by others. Because if we do it, it's expensive shit, because it's in Switzerland.
Yes.
So let's do, if it has to be expensive anyway, so let's do expensive, precious things. Like if it's for children, it has to be intelligent. It has to be nice. It has to be good. If it's for adults, it has to be intelligent. It has to be nice. It has to be good. So we have an advantage in animation. It's that normally it would be something, and in the early days it was like this. There were companies with 50 or 100 employees that were drawing or animating, and animation today still can be like this. We can still have 100 people on a computer or drawing digitally. It's something you can learn. You don't have to go to a school and study over the years to become a handyman or a handywoman in animation. It's a craft. It's an artistic craft. You can learn it. And I'm dreaming of a company or places like in the Italian part of Switzerland, in the German part of Switzerland, in the French part of Switzerland, where we have companies that welcome workers in animation. So we do nice projects, we do expensive projects, but they're beautiful and they're intelligent and they're good. And by creating like this on a large scale, we could do something against unemployment, because these are intelligent jobs in the entertainment industry, in animation, and it makes sense because it's visual and it's visible also. Feature filmmakers have a problem because they hire a lot of people over the course of 3 weeks, and then they go somewhere and then they film, and it's a lot of turmoil and a lot of restrictions for the public, because they have to do the film and it rains and there's a limitation in time and resources. But in animation, we're under a roof. During COVID, we continued to work. It was no problem because we're inside, we're behind our computers, we have social distancing already. We had everything installed. So this is an industry or an art form that is very, very good for all situations. and
protected in some way.
And yeah,
Because of
it's
the
just
nature of
it's just
the-
healthy. It's a healthy industry because you do something people want. It doesn't take a lot of resources. It's green filmmaking already because we are inside. We don't have people don't travel a lot. But we're there, so we do something, and I think it's animation has been at the very beginning of filmmaking. Singles, step by step filmmaking, stop motion, and animation will be there always. Will always be there, and I think it's something very optimistic for the future.
Thank you very much, Jonas Raeber. E io vi ringrazio di essere rimasti con noi questa sera e vi auguro una buona serata e a presto.